Hey everyone, welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is a series where we get to talk a little about and touch base upon various mythological beings, and the like pulled from lore worldwide. And today I wanted to talk about a particular creature from Japanese folklore, and this is the Jorogumo. It is essentially falls into the category of spirits called the yokai in Japanese folklore, and the Jorogumo is a type of shapeshifter. It is a shapeshifter that transforms from spider to some sort of beautiful woman for various purposes. When the name Jorogumo is written in the kanji language, there are several ways to write it, which I thought was really interesting. There's one way you can write the word and in order to express its actual meaning. And in that case, the exact translation is beautiful woman. Now, there's also a way to write the name in kanji that is referring directly to this kind of entity. And in that version of the name, the translation is entangling newlywed woman. So a little different meanings, and I thought that was fascinating. Also, the name Jorogumo can refer to two or several different kinds of real spiders, but in this case, we're just going to refer to the mythological entity and not the living spiders. Now, in the Edo period of Japan, there are various writings starting to pop up that all refer back to the Jorogumo. I'm going to kind of cover a couple different tales from that period, one of which talks about a woman around the age 19-20-ish, and in this story, she appears to a youthful warrior, and she's holding or with some kind of child. At the time, she's talking to the child and pointing to the warrior saying, and I think the quote is, that there surely is your father, go forth and embrace. Of course, the man recognizes this is off, this is some kind of trick or ploy, and he takes the sword and attempts to strike the woman. The woman thereupon runs and flees away into an attic of some building. Now, the next day, people go out and explore the attic, kind of trying to figure out where this woman has gone. And in their search, they discover a Juro spider, which is rather large, up in the attic, along with the bodies of her victims, those that she tricked and started using as food and devouring them. So that was one of the legends about Jorogumo. Now, another one I thought was very entertaining and has this almost fairy tale feel in my mind. And in this story, there is a man who all of a sudden, a woman around the age of, or at least in her 50s, appears to him. And she comes up to him saying that she has a daughter that is taking a liking to him and keeps inviting him back to her house. Well, he's trying to figure what's going on. And so he does go with this older woman to her house, where he meets this teenage girl around 16, 17 years of age, and the girl's asking him to marry her. He turns her down, and she becomes more and more persistent and aggravated. And at one point during this kind of conversation between the man and this young woman, the young woman says and claims that the man had tried to attack her mother at one point, but despite that flaw, the mother was still willing to go out and ask the man to try to make them together. Now, the man at this point is totally frazzled and flees away from the young woman and her mother. And as he's running out of their house, the house is kind of disappearing around him. And all of a sudden he looks around and realizes he's on his own front porch. And he must have caused some kind of commotion because his own wife steps out of the house, checks on her husband, and he's trying to rehash what has going on. She insists that he has been sleeping on the front porch the entire time. He never left. He was there. So at that point, they both kind of agree that this was probably some dream, this nightmare that he just startled awake from. But during that point, he looks up and sees that there is a spider web of a Juro spider up in the eaves, and he remembers that the day before, he actually chased away 2 spiders from the porch. So referencing back to the story about the older mother being attacked by him. So I thought that was a pretty charming version of the Jorogumo. Now, there's a lot of stories and tales that utilize this idea of the spider women in Japanese folklore. If you are interested in checking out them, I highly advise it. They are a lot of fun. And outside of that, if you have any questions for me about this or anything else, please reach out to me here or on any of my other social media. Until next time, Skål.